Hello fellow miners, welcome to this video on the Breach Cutter Weapon Mastery. We're making our way through the rest of the weapons and we've got 7 left. And I wanted to do one on Engineer. So Breach Cutter here, it's on Salt Pits. And it's on Hazard 3, of course we do them on Hazard 5. For the class mod to play, you wouldn't necessarily want to play Maintenance Worker or Demolitionist because you really don't gain any benefits from their passives, but you could play them for the class mod masteries bonuses where you get a little bit of XP gain and damage on Demolitionist, and for Maintenance Worker you get a little bit of XP gain in Lifetime. In Lifetime, it is technically, I believe, relevant for the Breach Cutter where it will improve how long the beams effectively stay active for. But of course, you have Tinker as a class mod, and Tinker is great where, hey, your weapons start a little bit higher. They're starting at level 3. You get some XP gain, which is always good. And the pickup radius XP gain there for the class mod mastery bonus, it's always very solid as well. So we're gonna play Tinkerer. Before we start, let's look at the gear. Now, we've got some armor, good amount of HP, a lot of XP gain, a little bit of luck, and if you can, you do want to get as much luck as you can, especially for a weapon like a Breach Cutter where you can get beam upgrades in Dive. And we'll keep our eyes out for luck upgrades in Dive, but I just didn't have enough for, again, this particular loadout is mostly epics to show you how to do it with basically non-best in slot type legendary gear. Of course, we got a ton of damage, a little bit of mining speed, a little bit of movement speed, a lot of reload speed, and that's intentional. We got some explosion radius, which doesn't do anything for us, but it just happens to be kind of one of the few times where we're gonna have a wasted stat. And we have some crit damage. Now, for the gear here, this armor, this Hunter's Harness, I've been using it for a lot of these videos. It's just very, very solid average piece where it's got good armor, good HP, little XP gain, and then the quirk for healing when an elite is killed, which it'll proc a few times. I'm not going to probably make or break the die, but it'll be nice when it does proc. This chip here for Bosco is electrical chip. It's probably actually one of the better pieces we have equipped. It's one of my favorite chips for Bosco, where it's got luck, XP gain, and damage. And then the basically the electrical chip always starts with the electrical beam weapon for Bosco, which will apply a little bit of shock and gives a little bit of crit chance, which is nice. But my favorite quirk here for Bosco, which is Bosco picking up XP. It's really, really absurd. For the gadget here, this frequency tuner, it's just a very, very average piece. It's got mining speed, XP gain, damage, and then the quirk here for mining speed for every meta resource mined. It's, again, I mentioned, kind of a very average piece, very, very solid, but honestly just overall solid stats, and it does the job. The canister here is another one of the better pieces we have equipped, where we've got movement speed, reload speed, and mining speed. And then my favorite of the temporary buffs for leaving the drop pod of movement speed for 30 seconds. This is a very, very solid canister overall, and I use this actually on a lot of builds, even on my fun runs, because of just the overall stats that it gives. It's kind of like this general, very often the DW40K is these general good quality of life stats, where a lot of the other canisters, like they have very, very particular types of stats they provide, like Boom Blend provides explosion radius, hyper compressed fuel goes for weapon range, and so on and so forth. But it's a very, very solid piece. The tool here is Power Driver, where we've got some damage, reload speed, explosion radius, and then the quirk for pick up race for every level. The only reason why that I picked this is because of the reload speed. The explosion radius will do nothing for us, but I wanted to lock in as much reload speed as I could, and I just didn't have another tool that was epic that has basically like good reload speed on it. And I feel like this is very, very solid, where we've got some good damage, got the good reload speed, and explosion radius, like I said, it's quote unquote wasted, but it's fine. And then the weapon mod is this recoil absorber, and you might be saying, why would you use this recoil absorber? This is mainly for projectile weapons because of the quirks, but it's very, very solid for the reload speed that it provides, where we've got, of course, good damage, some good reload speed, a little bit of crit damage, and then the quirks down here, which we don't care about the crit damage, obviously, for getting the fire rate. We care about the reload speed for crit chance, because the Breach Cutter, it has really technically 3 different stats you will see on it, where you will see damage, you will see reload speed, and you will see potency if you pick one of the overclocks that applies like burn or shock. So really you only see the basically damage and reload speed. And how often it's firing is going to be based on, well, of course, how fast it reloads. And of course, there's other upgrades you will see, like you'll see paint jobs, of course, and you will also see, if you see legendaries, you can see the extra beam upgrades, of course, for that too as well. But we just want as much reload as we can on it. All right, with that, let's get to it. Rock and stone.
Weapon mastery is not for green beards, Miner. One weapon only. Are you sure you're ready for this?
I'll take the reload here. It's fine. I'm not sure if we're gonna build it as a satisfied weapon yet. You can, but I find it works just fine. You know, going as primarily just an on-hit damage weapon. Take that reload speed here. Remember that it's crit chance we want for the reload speed. We still want crit damage, but crit chance is gonna be giving us what we want. Let's take the damage here. Okay. I always want more beams on this. Now, if you could guarantee that you're going to get more beams, upgrades, like let's say if you have the lucky pipe wrench and you have a lot of luck on your other gear, more beams might be worth passing here and going for hot plasma. Hot plasma is still a good overclock. You get additional damage on it, you get the burn, and this will turn the breach cutter into somewhat of a stats effect weapon. But like I said, you can build it honestly anyway, but I always prefer the more beams. And speaking of the beams, hey, there's a beam. Oh, our luck's only 29 too. But you're more likely to see beam upgrades and weapon masteries because it's your only weapon, of course. Let's take some more damage.
We can't send in supplies until you clear out the landing zone.
Alright, well, grab that in a second.
This'll do.
The damage here. One thing to note about the breach cutter and the way that it took the XP gain here. So what's our armor too? Armor's 56. All right, we want to keep our eye out for a little bit of armor too. But the way that the targeting works is it basically does this. It uses its radius for the range, which it doesn't show the range here. But it basically looks for kind of an average direction of where to shoot based on where there are bugs. So there are more bugs in kind of one area, it'll shoot that way. But it always fires regardless of whether or not it can actually target anything. So if there's nothing in range, it still kind of fires off in a random direction. Let's take movement speed here.
This one's so mean.
You can get this now.
LZ ready. Resupply inbound.
Reload.
Wow, what a shot.
Yeah. These don't really do anything. Let's reroll one time. Okay. Let's take the nitro powder here.
It's calling to me.
Good hit. Take the movement speed. Yep. Let's take some more damage. Sure. Should be some more gold we're gonna go try and find. Take the reload speed here.
Build.
Okay, so between these overclocks, you could go either of them. And like I said, when you pick these, you're gonna start to see potency upgrades going forward, which is fine. We'll put a little bit of, we will select good potency upgrades when offered. But we're gonna be more so looking at this as an on-hit damage weapon. And I mean, you can still build it as a satisfied damage weapon, but it's just a question of, I feel like if you're gonna go as a satisfied damage weapon, depends on what your build is overall. Like then, because if you have those satisfied damage upgrades that you get offered, you know, will they benefit your other weapons? And so we'll take the ionized plasma here. It's just shock, so more crit chance effectively, and we're gonna be wanting to build or good crit chance and good crit damage.
This is gonna change everything.
The other overclock that we did not get offered there was a little more oomph, which I like as well because it gives you the same damage. XP gain here. Gives you the damage as well as the reload on it, which is very, very nice because, like I said, basically, if you look at your stats here, you have damage, beams, reload, and potency. Those are basically the 4 different stats you get offered in addition to paint jobs. But basically, you're going to want to get as much damage and reload, and you want a good amount of potency too as well. Ooh, take that luck here, absolutely, because that can give us more beams potentially.
Took out a loot box.
Taking our way around, we want to try and find out where the rest of that gold is. Blowing at loot bugs to see if you over here.
You shouldn't eat red. It will get you killed.
Okay. And if you can, by the way, get them to come into kind of like this little death trap here, it's very similar to like Shard Diffractor, where they're gonna bounce around and then just keep damaging the elites like that. Let's take the crit chance here, actually. Of course, we got pushed there a little bit. Let's keep moving though, because we should still see a little bit of gold somewhere. Let's take the damage.
That's what I needed.
Down here. Take that reload here. It's an epic. There's the gold. Okay, we're gonna grab this gold. We'll turn around in a second. Let's take a little bit more armor. Here, take the potency. Let's go get this gold down here real fast too.
I've been dreaming of something.
There's a lot of gold. We're not gonna be able to get it all probably. We're gonna get this gold right here. Or we're gonna try and get actually a good amount of it. Alright, let's go.
Gather up your beard and get onto that drop pod. It's about to
I'm going. Let's take the potency here.
Yeah, now we're
And
talking.
experimental cluster projectiles here is really good when you have a lot of beams. We have 3 right now. If you could guarantee that you get maybe like 1 to 2 more beams, this is a great overclock. And this actually is also really good too to help apply a ton of burn or shock because you have the little balls flying everywhere. But we'll take even more beams here. Both of them are really good at simple overclocks.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Good damage here, and let's run. We're gonna make it, we're gonna make it, we're gonna make it, we're gonna make it. Woohoo! Oh, wow, back-to-back epic crit damage upgrades is very nice. But we need more crit chance.
It's mine.
And we need probably just more damage and reload, more than anything.
I'm
Reload
raring to try
damage.
this out.
A little bit more potency, why not?
I can't get enough of this rare
Reroll.
stuff. Try again.
No! Alright, we're pinning that, no matter what. Let's take some bigger radius,
calling to me.
some potency,
Show me
reroll.
more.
Good
Yes,
damage. Reroll one more time. This is kind of expensive.
Nothing for me here. Let's try again.
All right, let's take the mining
It's a
speed.
little extra special.
We'll hold here. Let's go next stage. We don't need to pin any of that. Want that beam up for sure.
You know the drill, miner. Fulfill your objectives. Let's get out of here.
Would like to get a little more
Ooh, baby.
to just more crit chance now. We want a little bit more HP actually. I feel a little squishy with where my health is at right now. At just over 400. It's not bad necessarily, but I think a lot of the ways you're gonna lose these dives and die is by stupid mistakes and
We got a swarm incoming.
doing more crit chance, absolutely, and making stupid mistakes. Keep moving. Where's our potency at? It's a rare. Just take it.
Feels rare. Feels right.
Good value as a rare. The corner just to make sure there are no. Wait, there's no huli down there.
I die a little inside every time I have
Moving. More crit damage here. Yep.
right.
What is our reload? Meta bucket is 168 right now. All right. Our crit chance is 63.
Much better.
We don't need the mining speed, but we'll the damage here.
Scanner just lit up like a Christmas tree. LZ ready. Resupplying inbound.
shouldn't need precious minerals. It will get you
This might be too hard to take them all out right now. I mean, we're pretty strong, but the problem is just the way that the breach cutter works. I feel like that you pick the Huli bait here, and based on where we are in the progress bar, we should be able to get them all. But hey, Squinty's here. It's pretty nice. Nice to go on with our nitro powder, and we'll go over basically almost definitely be over 100% crit by the time he throws the nitro on the stage. And yeah, this is a solid pickup. Take that damage here. For chance, because that gives us reload.
You've achieved your
Even more luck, yep. Take the damage here, yep.
Think you killed me.
Lit up like a Christmas tree. We got a swarm incoming.
We are doing work. More damage, sure. We don't need the pickup radius. We'll take the reload speed here.
Got it right between the eyes.
I think it's reload. Yeah, let's get. We need a lot more reload.
Try this out. Suck on this, you freak of nature.
All right. Here's the nitro. I think there's movement speed here. Gotta get around and get into there. Go for chance, yep. The reload here. 5 shots would be good if I took the burn over clock, but even then, like we took the Squinty Sears, which is also it's killing our stats effect damage anyways. Took the reload here. We still need a lot more reload. All right. We don't need more potency, honestly. Potency's fine, but potency's pretty good. But this is 15 crit, so we can either spend it or save it for a chance. But we're gonna be looking for more so like the armor here. Poke our head down to this corner right here. 2 HP there, legendary, good value. And I was just talking about how I needed to be a little bit tankier a few minutes ago. Some damage there, it's an epic. We're making our way back over here.
It's about to head out.
Oh, running speed's really, really good. Take the reload here.
It's calling to me.
I got next stage.
Completed. Taking you to stage 3. Well done.
Beams.
Legendary. I knew today was gonna be good.
I am gonna take the luck here.
This makes my whole life better.
With the hope that we will get offered. I think actually the
This one
HP.
makes me want to be a better
That we will
warrior.
get offered the beam upgrade.
More options.
It's not a beam. Let me take some more crit chance.
Gimme.
Reroll.
What else?
Probably okay health wise now. Let's reroll one more time.
Next.
So if you take this, we'll have 39.
Feels rare. Feels right.
So we can reroll one more time.
Next.
Rerolling one more time. It's probably not. The odds of us getting another beam, it's better just to let's buy the armor here. The extra tanky.
Oh, yeah.
And we'll buy this damage.
A legendary. I knew today was gonna be good.
Now we're absurdly strong. And you might look at this and think that, like, oh, your damage is low, is 242. Well, the way that the beams work is that the beams are constructed of effectively projectiles, which are the kind of the ball ends to the beams, and then there's the beam itself, which they actually deal damage differently, where the beams actually tick and the balls effectively do not. They're more like projectile balls. So similar to like what the EPC is. All right, let's go next stage.
Only one way to rouse the dreadnought. Destroy its cocoons. Kill them all, Miner.
I'm really not ready for this.
Yeah, we could have taken the experimental cluster projectile overclock and been just fine and crushing it, honestly. Especially considering we got offered, of course, we have how many? 2 beam upgrades plus the overclock that we took. Take that reload here. It's epic, good value. There's the hoolie. Let's give you that real fast. It's getting chunked. There's some loot bugs. How did they get it? They're like over here. Got it. Nice. All right. Okay. This isn't that good because we're not leading into status effect damage at all. But if you were, this would actually be a pretty good hit. But this nitro here is 15 crit, so we'll take that.
This is my pick.
Ooh, I'll take some more luck. We're now at 69. Nice. So yeah, now we have 123 crit, and we still haven't got all the nitro on the stage either, too. So making our way around. There should be some more loot bugs too. More reload. We're gonna hold our gold to try and see if we can pick up a gold-tip bolts or something. Okay, get this nitro here. Moving. Yeah. Well, I don't care about any of this. Let's reroll one time. All right, let's get tanky. Let's get 101 armor now.
Can't drop supplies for you yet. Prep the landing zone for impact.
This nitro, this will put us over 140%, like 142, I think. No, just sorry, 137. Could not count there. All right, let's get this real fast. Let's take the reload. And we don't need that potency so much. We want the reload because we want them to be firing as much as possible, which our current reload time is 0.75 seconds. Yeah, and if you look at our reload meta bucket, it's 174. So we have added a ton of extra reload speed to our crit chance upgrades. Is it worth re-rolling here? Probably. You can also take the mocap too. It's a good hit, but you know, I don't want to re-roll. This is only 9% damage and 9% reload. I mean, it hurts our. Well, let me think about this for a second. So this gives us also reload. We lose a little bit of mining speed, which is fine. But if we take this, let's say we take like 100 damage. This is probably still a little bit better. We'll take the mocap here. We'll intentionally take some damage. So this is pretty absurd, though. We are absurdly strong now. Some damage to me. All right. Yeah. Now our artifact bucket is at 111, and remember, it's supposed to be minus 30% from the squinties. So we're getting 41% right now from the mocap. Go ahead, it's real fast. Let's take some movement speed here. Get a little faster. Just end it real fast here. Just stay close to him, just to make sure that you're going to have those, to have your basically beams hit him. You know what? Let's reroll here. 1. All right, let's be safe. Ooh, do we want to take that? What's our reload at? Or why not?
Oh, yeah.
Some damage to us. Got him.
Well done, team. Immediate dreadnought threat eliminated. Object, well done. Objective completed. Drop pod has arrived.
Get one more level and reroll for a beam.
Without you.
Beam. No, don't want that. Beam. Beam? Beam? Beam. Ugh. Alright, if I don't take both, I guess. Whatever. Alright. Breach cutter. So many beams. And that's it.
Impressive work, Miner. The dreadnought never knew what hit it.
Yeah, the breach cutter. It's very, very fun. So that's a son. No, wait, that is a sonic. No, it's not a sonic sugar scrambler. That's I can't remember what it is, but it's a gadget. We'll check it out in a second. All right. Well, the breach cutter. It's a very, very fun weapon, and it just, in my mind, when you think of like the breach cutter, I feel like it tends to be, I want to say under. Well, I guess you could say it's underrated a little bit. A lot of players don't necessarily care for it, I feel like, but it's a great wave clear weapon, and it does great damage to the elites too. It's like kind of almost like a not as a. I mean, it's not as good single target when you think of like when you compare to weapons like the M1000, for example, but it just does absurd damage. I mean, throughout that dive, once we got it up to level 18. It just felt like everything was just dying real fast. And those beams, they stick around for a long time. I think it's like their lifetime is something like 6 seconds or something when they get fired. And there's no like, range effectively on it. And that, by the way, if you remember, this was changed, I believe, with 1.0, where there used to be range as a stat and an actual upgrade for the breach cutter. And prior, to 1.0, it was available where you could actually get upgrades for it. And 1.0 finally removed it. And for a long time, we never knew what the breach cutter was doing in terms of with the range. We thought for a long time it was like, oh, maybe it's related to the range of the beams themselves. No, nothing to do with that. The range only to do with targeting. And we think that very likely what happened was there was a... when you, as a comparable to like shard diffractor, there was maybe a thought that, oh, you want to have range for it too, but the range only ever did change, something for the targeting, and it's just really did nothing. Whereas for range for shard diffractor is crazy because that's changes the range of the beams. But we ended up having, like I said, we had 7 beams. We could have not taken even more beams there. We would have been down to 4 beams. 4 beams might be pretty okay. I still feel like the experimental cluster projectile overclock is better if you can get like 5 beams. If you have like 5 or more beams, it's crazy. But you can't go wrong with even more beams. Like I said, if you don't have that many beams anyways, like if you only had, for example, 2 or 3 beams, like always go even more beams. It's like almost like doubling your damage effectively. The ionized plasma didn't do too much, honestly. And I feel like if you look at how many stacks it applied, I mean, sure, it provided a little bit of crit chance, but things were just dying too quickly, honestly. And and plus our electrical damage was only 1.5 million. And that also includes Bosco damage in there too, as well. But yeah, no, I mean, if anything, that ionized plasma was doing more of was just from the extra 15% damage on the overclock bucket there. Yeah, we had absurd stats here. So, yeah. We had, and I ended up having actually good HP. down the stretch. We actually got offered, there's 2 legendary upgrades we got offered. I think it was on the final stage actually, which is really nice. Or it was on the final stage. I think one was offered at the end of stage 2, and then one right during the dread fight, which it's just nice to be safe. I said, when you do these kind of weapon masteries, the way you're going to like very often die is by making mistakes. And if you have a good HP pool to work with on top of having good armor, like having 100 armor and 600 HP, we were a super tank. We could have been hit by the dread directly and we would have been fine. Even at like, because we dropped down to about like half health to get a lot more damage from the mocap, but we still would have been fine. We would have dropped down probably close to maybe like, let's say, if we're around 300, it probably would have been closer to like, took a direct hit from the dread at 100 armor. Probably going to be close to like 150 to 200 damage. So we would have not been dead, but we would have dropped even lower. But then we would have had even more damage. But of course, we had good movement speed. Ended up having a really good crit chance and really good crit damage. We had a good pickup radius, good XP gain, very nice luck, and then good mining speed. Overall, though, Breach Cutter, it's a very solid weapon, and it's available obviously on all the engineer class mods. I love it on Tinkerer, because Tinkerer can do a full plasma build with, assuming you get plasma on the Warthog, you can have plasma Warthog, you can have Breach Cutter, you can have Shard Diffractor, and then you can have plasma Burster. And it's a very, very fun build to go all 4 of them. Okay, though, let's check the gear out. Drum roll. There was a gadget, and I can't remember what it's called. It's soft spot detector. Okay, but it's over here. Aspect damage, crit damage, weapon range. Okay, we're gonna sell it, but Sunday, please. Like, look at some of the stat scaling for some of these and how they're pairing here. Is like this 6.8% aspect damage is like, it's so low. This should, I feel like when you compare it to like damage, this should be, I feel like the scaling here should be much higher. Like this, if this was 3 times the amount, if you're telling me that this was closer to like 20% aspect damage, it'd be pretty good, almost worth keeping, even though you have like these kind of other, like we have crit damage on it, and you're like, crit damage and aspect damage are kind of somewhat at odds. But yeah, it's too low. That's such a weird collection of stats there, though. We shall sell it, though.
Out with the old, in with the new.
But yeah, the Breach Cutter, if you haven't yet really used it often, give it a go, because like I said, it's very, very good as a carry weapon, and it's probably one of the, I say one of the better, but I think that as a weapon that effectively has infinite pierce, like the Breach Cutter, it just has it's like one of the better wave clear weapons in a sense, where if you look at what it can do, like, man, it can just melt the waves of bugs. And I said it does just fine against the elites too as well. But give it a go. Try the different overclocks out. Again, if you can get, like, let's say 4 to 5 beams base, try the experimental cluster projectile unstable overclock at 18 is a very, very good overclock. And then if you have, let's say, 2 to 3 beams, then go for the even more beams overclock. But yeah, very, very fun weapon. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Rockin' Stone.
Sandwich, where you hiding?